Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi gang, welcome back to my video. So my name is Nurfadilah with ID number A12123042, and in today's video I'm going to explain 10 tips that you can use for answering IELTS reading text, and I hope this video can help you. Alright, so what are them? Let's get started. Alright, so for the tips, number 1 is don't read slowly. Well, so in IELTS reading tests, we don't have time to read like every single word. So here we can use two reading techniques, which is skimming and scanning. So skimming to find the main idea and scanning to find the specific details. So you don't have to understand like everything, like the whole paragraph. You only need to focus on the key information. For example, when you see like a long article about ancient buildings, so just skim to find what the whole text is about. Maybe it's about how the castles were built, and then after that you can finally scan to find dates or names for the questions. Alright, so for the next tips number 2 is don't spend too much time on one questions. So if one questions is too hard, you can just skip it. So don't waste like 5 minutes just for one number, and you can start by answer the easier questions first, and then you can come back later if you have time. For the tips number 3 is spend more time on passage 3. See, in the IELTS reading test, it has like 3 passages normally. So passage 1 is usually the easiest, and passage 3 is the hardest or the longest, and it is normally more academic than the others. So that's why you should save more time for the last passage. And what you can do here, so you can apply this smart way to manage your time, where you can read the passage 1 and then spend like 15 to 17 minutes on it, and then passage 2 you can spend around 20 minutes, and then finally the passage 3 you can spend 23 to 20 minutes on it. So don't rush through passage 3. You'll need more time to understand like complex vocabulary and ideas on it. Alright, so for the tips number 4, you can leave time to transfer your answers. Okay, so you have to make sure that you leave at least 2 to 3 minutes at the end to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. So some people lose points not because they don't know the answers, but mostly because they forgot to write them down correctly. Alright, now let's move on to tips number 5. So here you can follow the word limit. Alright, so if it says no more than 3 words, then don't write 4 words, even if your answer is correct. But if it is too long, it will be wrong. For example, there's a questions where like where did the accident happen, and then at the passage it says at the main train station, and then you answer like at the main train station. It would be wrong because again the instruction is no more than 3 words. But if you answer is main train station only, which is 3 words, then it is correct. And for tips number 6, it is practice spelling. So spelling matters. In IELTS reading text, spelling must be correct always. Even only one letter wrong, your answer is marked incorrect. For example, if the answer is environment, but then you write environment without the and after the O, it is wrong. So what you can do to handle it, more practice. So you can practice spelling common words in your topic areas such as environment and so on. Tips number 7, watch your grammar. So if the answer is supposed to be plural, don't write singular form. For example, the text says castles with S, but then you write only castle. That's wrong. So make sure to always check the grammar after you write your answers. Alright, so the next tips, which is tips number 8, always read the instruction carefully. Well, so this sounds simple, but actually many students lose points because they ignore the instruction. So if it says choose no more than 2 words and then you write 3, then your answer is wrong. If it says like write true or false or not given and then you write yes, it is also wrong. So the tips is you have to always read the questions type and then the word limit before you start answering, because a small mistake can cost you easy marks. And tips number 9, don't overthink matching headings. So matching headings means choosing the best title for each paragraph. The key is you have to focus on the main idea, not the small details. Here, the best method is using skipping. So just skim the paragraph, starting by reading the first and then the last sentences, and then ask, what is this paragraph mostly talking about? So for example, if the paragraph talks about why people prefer public transport, don't choose a heading about car accidents. So don't get stuck comparing all the headings, and then if one finally fits well, just go with it and then move on. The last but not least, tips number 10, don't panic if you don't understand every word. So you don't need to understand like 100% of the text to get the right answers. What you need is only focus on keywords, the context, and the questions types. For example, if you don't know the word extinction, but the questions asked about animal species disappearing, you can use the context to guess the meaning because it's probably related. So for the tips here, learn how to guess word meanings from the sentence before and the sentence after it. Well, so I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.